Hi friends, Shannon here, Cards by Shannon Lee on the Katscrappiness YouTube channel. I am here today to create a snarky little Valentine's Day card for you. And we're going to start off with the Happy Freaking Valentine's Day die set. This die is, or I should say dies, it has a shadow and also the words Happy Freaking Valentine's, and that is 2 pieces. Let me show you. The Happy Freaking Valentine's is 1 piece, and then there's an exclamation point. That's another little tiny piece. So make sure when you're die cutting those out that you don't lose the exclamation point, because that's the most important part. No, I should say the Happy Freaking Valentine's Day is the most important part. Okay, next we have Berry Sweet, and I've already cut and colored 3 strawberries from they're nice heart-shaped strawberries from the stamp and die set. And if you notice, I have right here these nice chocolate drips that go layer up on top of the strawberries, and those dies are in addition to the outline dies for the sentiments and the strawberries themselves. So we're going to layer up make some chocolate covered strawberries for our card, and this is going to be a shaker card, and I'll show you how I love to make shaker cards. It's kind of a full front shaker card, and in addition to the products I've shown you already, we're also using the fall frame. I've gone ahead and cut that out ahead of time in white, and this is 2 pieces, so it has the A2 size stitched rectangle, and then you have the option of cutting out the center the way I did here. And this is a really clever die because they put the stitching on both the inside and the outside of the center portion of the die. So when you have that, let me show you. I keep all my parts in the back of the package where I store my dies. So it does the stitching on the inside portion around the perimeter, but it also does it on the outside of where it cuts out that center portion. So you have double stitching on that frame that I created. And then we are going to use several embellishments. We're using the chocolate covered strawberry sprinkle mix, and this has brown, white, and pink little hearts. And let me give you a close-up of that. Brown, white, and pink little hearts, has little strawberries, and those are the little clay embellishments. There's little red balls in there, and I think that's it for that one. And then we're going to use the juicy red strawberry sprinkles, and just to add some more strawberries to the mix, some carnation pink dots and dark chocolate dots. And if you didn't know, these make the best shaker cards because they give it that really cool shaker sound. So, and it also gets those clay pieces moving in the shaker. So I'll set those aside. And finally, we're going to use a piece of cardstock, or a piece of cardstock from the Vintage Romance premium double-sided printed cardstock pack. It's a 6x6 pack, and we're going to use the pink on pink or tone on tone houndstooth, and I've cut this down to just shy of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I just want to make sure that when I create my shaker, when I show you how I do that, it's going to have plastic wrapped around the edges, so I want to make sure that this is a little bit smaller than the frame that's going to go on top. So to do that, what I've done is if you can see that there, get you a little shine. I've taken a piece of plastic from the die set, and instead of throwing it away, I'm going to use it for my shaker card. So I'm going to grab some double-sided tape, and I'll be right back. So I started putting the double-sided tape on, I realized I didn't push record. So let me explain again. I flipped over my cardstock, and I am putting double-sided tape on the back side of the panel where I want to use as my background, and just do that all around the backside perimeter. And then we will attach our plastic that, instead of throwing away, we salvage that little bit of something that would otherwise go in the garbage. Okay, so that's my double-sided tape. Let me use my little pokey tool. I'm gonna push down those ends of the tape. Make sure that's nice and pushed down. Did I do this side already? Okay. Then we're gonna get our plastic, and now I've cut this so it's just a bit bigger. It gives me probably a 1/2 inch on all sides. And we're going to lift up our double-sided tape and fold over that plastic. And we're going to want, you know what I should have done ahead of time is cut these corners to miter them. We'll do it on the other side. So I'm going to cut the corner, but I don't want to cut it all the way to the touching the corner. I want to give it a little bit of space. Just miter that corner. Do the same thing on the other side. And let's see. Are we doing it this way? Oops, too close. Okay, there we go. Get those little plastic pieces out of the way. And push down our plastic. And then I'm going to do the 2 sides, and we're going to leave the top open so that we can put all of our shaker bits in. So let me fold this over, if I can get that. Give it a press, and the other side. And this is the easiest way I have found to do a shaker. I don't like messing around with the double-sided tape, or not the double-sided, the foam tape. This way we can fill our shaker with all kinds of goodies, not worry about them sticking to the foam tape on the inside. Okay, let's start with some dark chocolate dots. Sprinkle those into our little pocket we created. And then some carnation pink dots. And sprinkle that into the top. We're really going to load, since it's a full front shaker, we're going to give it lots of shaker bits. And then we've got juicy red strawberry sprinkles. Add a bunch of those. And finally, our chocolate covered strawberry sprinkle mix. And add a bunch of that. Get all those little hearts in there, and a little bit more of strawberries and the little red balls. Okay, so now our shaker is nice and full. I'm flipping this back around to show the back side, and we're going to peel up that double-sided tape to reveal the stickiness. And then just seal that top. Folding that over, giving it a press. There we go. And so here is the base of our chocolate covered sprinkle mix. All kinds of fun goodiness. I probably should have, before I put this shaker mix in, I probably should have put my frame on there. I think what I'm going to do is add some double-sided tape on the back of that. I'll be right back after I tape up the frame. So what I've done is I've tried to get all those shaker bits as far as I could in the middle, in the center of that cardstock. And now I'm going to just peel off the corners, or one end of each of the pieces of tape that I have on the back side of my frame, so that I can have a little bit of wiggle room when I'm placing this on my card front. So we're going to hover this over, and when it looks like we're right on target, oops, I don't want that down yet. Looks like we're, there we go. That corner and that corner, give them a push, and then pull that release paper away after I get it squared up on top of the shaker card. There we go, last piece. So get, oh no, one more. There we go. So there is the front, and what we're going to do now is I've glued the chocolate the chocolatey goodness on 2 of the strawberries, but I'm gonna just finish up with this last one. And the chocolate portion of the die, or the die that cuts the chocolate, cuts in the shape of the strawberry, so it still leaves that white outline around the image. So you're just going to glue that down to the stamped area. And now I think we're going to do it landscape style. And we'll glue these down. I think we should do our sentiment first, just to help center that up. I should have glued the sentiments on there first too. So here I am. Just add a little bit of glue to the back of this. Make sure you get the ends of the letters so that they stay down. You don't have to add glue to the entire area. Just want to make sure that the end of each letter that's sticking up, or to prevent it from sticking up. And then a couple on each of the, a couple of dots on each of the letters. If you haven't stopped by the Cat Scrappiness site lately, they are having a sale right now, a 26% off. Wow, words are hard. 26% off sale. That is an overstock sale. So if you stop by the Cat Scrappiness store between now and, I believe the sale goes until Friday the 16th, you can stock up on all your favorite Cat Scrappiness goodies. Get those shaker bits and embellishments and stamps and dies and all the good stuff at a discount. So that's 26% off. So I'm going to use I would normally use my little pokey picker up tool to pick up the little piece and drop it down, but since I'm doing this on acetate, I'm going to use my tweezers and just add a little bit of glue to the back of this exclamation point. But if I was gluing it down to cardstock, I would just put a dot of glue and use my picker-upper tool, pokey picker-upper tool, to pick that up. Okay, so finally we are going to add our strawberries. I think we'll do 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Like that. Add some glue to the back. There are links for all the products that I'm using to create this card in the description box below. And if you would be so kind, I would appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up and like my video and subscribe to the Cat Scrappiness channel so that you can see more fun card creations like this one today. So here's our large strawberry. Another thing that you could do with these strawberries that I've seen done by one of the creative crew members, or I think that's what they're still referred to as, yeah, at Cat Scrappiness, is Julie Patton. She created a card with these berries, and on the chocolate she used some clear, like Nouveau drops, or I can't remember the name of that other stuff, the clear, not stickles. Nouveau drops is the only thing that I can think. I can't think of the name of the other clear, shiny stuff that you put on stuff. But anyways, what she did was she put the clear stuff, the clear Nouveau drops, on the chocolate portion, and it really gave the berries a nice life-like appearance. So here is our card for today, and isn't that awesome? Look at all these shakers and all that shaker noise. I think I want to add a couple of hearts on the outside, but I'll do that later. before I add it to a card base. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.